Welcome, everybody. It's episode 2.
Yay! All right, this is an awesome episode. Oh, by the way, I'm Ryan. This is Angela.
I'm Angela. He's Ryan.
Yeah, just in case there's any confusion,
She, he.
There you go. See, there should be no confusion.
Now you know.
And for wondering, that's Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader in the background.
And Princess Leia, thank you.
Yeah, and Han Solo. I forgot to name everybody. Don't forget R2-D2.
They know. How could they not know?
All droids matter.
All droids matter. Of course, one time I was at the Comic-Con or the Star Wars con, some kind of con with Xavier, and I called them bots, and the guy scolded me. The Mandalorian was like, droids! I was like, oh yeah, stop it!
Oh my goodness. Now, just so you know,
like, oh, the bots.
I wasn't in her life yet.
No.
So,
I would have been chastised.
You can't judge her for that.
The bots are droids.
Yes.
Whatever.
The droid army, yeah.
They don't have they have an android on Star Trek. I know that. I'm not a Star Wars.
I don't know if they really have like robots on Star Trek, do they?
Just Data. Commander Data.
Yeah, he's an android. So I don't know.
See?
Cyborgs.
Oh, Borg. Resistance is futile.
It is. It's like about to show him that shirt.
I'm gonna wear my shirt next time. Today I'm wearing my shirt I got from Washington D.C. Cherry Blossoms.
I know they're gonna look at me. I'm like, man, Ryan's so boring. He doesn't have any cool shirts.
He has all the Star Wars shirts, but it's been cold, so he's wearing long sleeves now.
Yeah, we thought it was spring, and then it like froze last
We had
night.
a freeze warning. I had to bring all the seedlings in, all the plants, which, by the way, springtime and gardening.
Well, hey,
I'm not looking at this at all. So if there's like the next topic, I'm not looking at it.
Let's go ahead and start talking about that. And people out there are like, I don't know what she's talking about. There's nothing on another screen somewhere with like an outline or something. This is just all us. But you know what? Let's talk about spring since we're here.
It's April. It was my mom's birthday. Yippee skippy. But I'm not allowed to tell you how old she is.
She's her exact age and not a day older or younger. And but we can definitely say she looks way younger than she really is. Your mom's like in great health. And this, of course, is Tigger. Who he's like 20.
Over here. Say hello.
Look at the camera.
Here.
Say hello.
Hi. Hi.
There we go. Now y'all get to see the wonderful Mr. Tigger.
Mr. Tiggs.
I think he's enjoying the spring weather too. He's going out there at the grass.
He's a good boy.
He grew up in Arizona. We're pretty dry, so all this green, I'm sure he's liking it.
It's so green right now. So anyway, the point about spring is not just spring cleaning, spring reset. Reset your life, not just your house.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that. And right now, Angela, how's spring changing our routine?
Well, I go outside more. We basically hibernated in January when it was a foot of snow and 1 degree all year for all month. And I just mowed the big hill. We're seeing more critters. It's getting very green. We're planting our garden. We planted a whole bunch of seedlings this weekend. Oh, and yeah. I started them inside in little trays. So when they're big enough, they can go. I'm trying to get this clump. We can put them out in the dirt, which I'm excited about because I've never really done that. So we're doing like 20 vegetables and a whole bunch of wildflowers for the bees.
Oh, yeah. We got
bees and the butterflies. So hopefully there will be very little to mow.
Yeah, and eventually we'll be able to show everybody
because we have an acre, but it's very hilly. So if I could cover a lot of that in creeping thyme and wildflowers, I wouldn't have to mow as much.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. And also inside, we're decluttering. I've been trying to declutter for 30 years and I've had it like I'm being ruthless. Like I used to be very, what is this? I might need this for, and then your mind creatively is like, this could happen or this scenario, or maybe one day, or maybe I'll do a craft. No, I'm done. I don't have time for that. I don't have the bandwidth. I'm done.
Yeah, especially if it's something like it's not expensive. If you really need it, you could buy it in 5 years if you need it that one time,
Well, one thing I came up with was I don't want this box. So it's a big box, and if I don't want this, I don't want it. And it gives me a buffer between like throwing it in the trash, taking it to Goodwill. Like I have this issue with throwing away something that's perfectly good that could be useful to someone, but it's taking up space and it's taking up my mental energy and it's affecting me. So it's got to go. So I have a few boxes of I don't want this. And we may open them one day. We may never. I might just leave them. If we ever move, I'll just leave them in the basement. Someone else can come along and go, maybe I want that. Not my problem.
There you go.
But it helps a lot for the decluttering to have like a holding pattern, but it's not taking up space in the closet or living space. It's just in a box.
I think it's a great plan.
Tigger.
I'm enjoying the earlier sunrises.
Yeah.
And just more daylight time. I think that's a natural, like,
yeah.
But at least for me, it helps me get up. So it is changing our routine some. We're, adding in the garden and going outside. I'm actually going to start going outside when it's consistently over 60.
Well, disability people don't have the opportunity to put their feet in the grass, put their hands in the dirt. So we're going to have a nice little raised grass thing. Like part of the raised bed garden is going to have grass. So we can take off your shoes and stick your feet in it.
Okay, that's cool.
Because grounding is so important.
I also eventually want to get one up top so I can stick my hands into some dirt, a higher. All right.
Yeah, why should I plant everything?
Yeah, but just try to make sure the cats stay out of it. I'll stick my hand in
But anyway, you're decluttering. And speaking of health coaching, which we were not, but we are now, there is a chapter in our book. We use a textbook called Dr. A's Habits of Health because you develop your habits and you can have unhealthy or healthy habits, mentally, physically, the whole thing. And one of the very important points is healthy surroundings. It's not just throw out the Twinkies and the chips to be healthy. It's this clutter takes up your mental bandwidth. I have a box on the floor Ryan can't get through. That makes me feel extremely guilty. And at night, I'm like, this is what I haven't gotten done yet. And poor Ryan and Xavier have to go through the obstacle course or run over the box, or Xavier moved the table across the room yesterday. You shouldn't have to do that. And I feel bad. So like, that's another part of how I'm more ruthlessly decluttering.
Well, I'm glad.
Because if all this was gone, yay.
Yeah, we could just have like the Indy 500 here if this is all gone. That'd be fun.
I already took out the rugs. I rearranged. I put the couch against the wall so that it's a lot more open space. We got this collapsible dining room table. It has 5 leaves, but when it's all the way small, it's this big.
Well, Angela, it's just like, plants, flowers. It'd be great to just be able to do all that at once, but, you have to take steps. I think you're doing great with your throwaway box. I don't want this box and the things you're doing, and as anybody out there, it's like the roots of a plant. There has to be stuff going on underneath first. So, whatever we're going through, we need to move things, have plans, have systems.
Well, and like baby steps. I'm a big believer in baby steps, although it seems like every time I do my goal, like, how many of us have planned to declutter and we're just going to give it a weekend and our house will be perfect by Sunday night? It doesn't work that way because we're still living life. Like I clean the kitchen and then later I cook and then it's messy again. So the baby steps is a good thing. And like you were talking about with the planting and the seedlings, our cabbage is like sprouted up. It's like 3 inches high. You can barely see a little sprout of cucumber. Yeah. Everything else, you can see nothing because it's only been, when did I plant that? Like Saturday?
Yeah.
Or was it last?
I think it's Saturday or Friday.
No. The first tray I did because we have a bunch of seeds we went and got.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have a big bag of seeds.
It was like Thursday, I think.
Yeah. But we have a big bag of seeds my mother gave me that she's had in her cabinet for like 30 years. Speaking of decluttering. So we don't know if those are going to bloom. But the seeds we bought, the cabbage, every time I walk by, they're taller.
Yeah. That's another thing. The zucchini, cucumbers, chilies, whatever, they're not making the progress the cabbage is, but everybody blooms at a different speed.
But the roots are growing.
Yeah,
I would assume.
yeah,
I
they're
hope.
going to grow into their own thing. So, moral of that story is, don't compete with the cabbages. Just
My
be yourself.
cousin just bought a bunch of land. She and her husband are going to be apple farmers.
Oh
And her
yeah,
mother was telling me some of the apple trees they're planting take 7 years to get fruit.
yeah.
So think of you're a long-term planner. I'm trying to get through the day. Ryan's a long-term planner. Obviously, Cecilia and Gideon are like long-term planners because they planted these trees and they're going to wait 7 years to get apples.
Yeah.
I think they have other apples coming in though. Just that one.
Oh, okay.
I hope.
And I don't think Tigger's a long-term planner. He's just worried about, I need food.
Hi, Tigger. Oh, he's my big boy.
He's my handsome boy. Yep. I think it just landed on me.
So back to mindset reset. I'm in desperate need because, the winter and it's cold and then it's like gray and funky. But when the leaves and the flowers and everything starts to bloom, I feel so much better. I see blue sky. I don't know how people survive in climates where it's always cloudy and gray.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I like the seasons. Well, you were in Arizona. Were your seasons as different from one month to the next or one half of the year to the other?
We had like very short springs and very short autumns. And I used to think we had long normal winter, but after being here, like now we have short winters.
So it's more extreme here.
Oh, well, the winter just lasts so much longer. I mean, it feels like I don't know if it just doesn't get as cold in Arizona, but
in 2 weeks you'll have been here. There's a calendar over there. I'm looking. What does it say? The 8th? 1, 2. In 2 weeks you'll have been here a whole year. You'll have seen the whole year of Missouri.
I've seen everything Missouri could throw at me. I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
Don't say Missouri. That. You never know. There have been no earthquakes or tornadoes, and you never know.
Missouri, you've got plenty of surprises left for me.
That's right. But a year, all the seasons,
pestilences,
2 time changes, spring forward, fall back.
I do not like this time change, people.
Arizona doesn't do it.
No, so I mean, it was like you guys had to figure out. We didn't know when daylight savings changed. So we'd have to look it up then, because then we're on like California time, or
I know you'd call and you'd be like, you think you were 1 hour behind me, but really you were 2. So I'm like up at 1 o'clock in the morning talking to you because you think it's 12 or I'm tired.
So then it's nice that we don't change, but then you got to change and adjust for everybody else. Like,
which we appreciate.
Like, okay, you're Eastern set, So at least that's easier now.
Do you mind?
Good. And I kind of forget.
I'm not allowed to do this while he's talking, but I just try to help.
That's right. I kind of forget when I text people back in Arizona. I'm like, oh, wait, this is like 7 a.m. there. Oops.
It's just a text, though.
Yeah. Most people aren't grouchy about texts like me. Cause...
You are. Turn off your notifications.
I would have it clear in the other room of the house in Safford.
Right.
It didn't wake me up from sleeping.
You got to turn off your notifications. The only people who can text me when my phone's in sleep are my 2 kids, my mom, and you.
Well, it's easy. Now that I got married, hardly anybody texts me. And everybody from Arizona, they're like 2 hours behind. So they text me early in the morning, and it's an okay time here. It's not that.
It's texting. You can answer back when you want.
I'm worried about. Maybe that's my problem with like group messaging and stuff. When I get a text or message, I'm like, I need to answer that.
You can mute. I have found you can mute. If they text you and someone's cranky that you don't respond till the next day, I don't think that's your problem. They can just.
Well, you know about some of the group chats I muted.
Yes. My mother has a flip phone. So when all her sisters are on a group text, all the sisters, it's not a group text thread. She has to open each message thread from her 3 sisters and kind of piece together the group chat. And she's like, someone responded, LOL, that takes up one of my texts. She's got a finite amount of texts on her phone per month.
Like, in one way, I'm like, why don't you upgrade? But another way, I'm like, that's
She will
nice.
not. She's like, I pay $7 a month for my minutes, and why do I need an iPhone? She doesn't. You know what? In fact, when I put down my iPhone, I lost my iPhone the other day. I was sorting some clothes and put them in a bin, and the iPhone was in the bin under the clothes. I don't want this clothes. Actually, it was clothes I wanted, so that's a good thing. But couldn't find my phone for like 12 hours. And it was okay. And I felt better. I think it helped my mental health. Wasn't I more fun that day?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're always pretty fun. But
No.
I think it's good for everybody to get away from their phone once in a while. Everybody should lose their phone for a little bit.
See, when you don't respond to text, you'd be like, oh man, I lost my phone. Sorry.
Well, you know, there's always a thing about, oh, I had a text, I forgot to hit send. Oh,
you know what? I like honesty. I didn't respond because it wasn't important to me at the time. Like when people knock on the door. I didn't hear it. We don't have a doorbell. We should put up that Ring camera. I want to see what's going on.
I don't
there.
like here, man. That doorbell. There's a knocker, like a ring. It's like everybody practically goes diving behind something. Quick, hide.
There's one of those, like the generation Gen X when someone knocks. Baby boomers, hello. And the kids are like, "What was that sound?"
Yeah, I grew up with my parents. We lived on the highway, so every door-to-door salesman, whatever.
I'm surprised it would stop though for just one house. Like that's a lot of time to get out for one house.
Maybe it got out that my mom was a sucker. I don't know. That's how I bought a Kirby. They stopped there.
I bought a Kirby. I liked it, but it's 15 years old and it needs retooling or something. I don't know. It's probably worth it, but.
Did you ever have somebody try to sell you a rainbow vacuum?
Nope, never heard of it. Is it rainbow? Is it a Pride vacuum?
No, they're pretty cool though. The had a water thing. Or one time this guy selling meat, his freezer broke. And he had to go back 2 hours to Tucson, so he needed to sell it at a low price.
You know, I was at the Dollar Tree.
Mm-hmm.
We're at some dollar store, and I got to the front and we paid our like $10 for all this stuff we got. And she's like, hey, we're having a contest. The person who sells the most sponges wins. And she's got this little bucket of sponges. I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm going to clean. And then I was like, wait a minute. I said, do you really have a contest? Because that's really good marketing. Because I'm like, oh, I want you to win. Let me buy a sponge.
Yeah, the next person comes in. Hey, we have this contest for selling spatulas.
She could be making it up, but it's still good upsell. I'm not mad at her.
That's right. So, all right. So, you know what? We can upsell ourselves when it comes to health.
Yes. You know, here's the thing. I feel like people are going to do what they're going to do, but also I feel like we have such an epidemic. People are overweight. People don't feel good. People are like, and we can help you with your healthy habits, weight loss, feeling better. I'm going to tell you, I was pre-diabetic, kind of obese. And then I got on a program and lost a lot of weight and developed my healthy habits for life, not just for lose weight fast. So,
yeah, because, you know, like I'm excited about all these vegetables we're planting.
Yes.
Looking forward to some fresh tomatoes and my serrano chilies, zucchinis and stuff. But before I used to think, well, that's just what you eat if we're trying to lose weight. I really didn't eat very many vegetables.
We eat a lot of vegetables here.
We do now. And
even my son eats a lot of vegetables. He eats a bowl of tomatoes every day at least.
Yeah, he's like, but we should change his name to Tomato. What do you think?
Probably not.
Okay, I don't think so either. But the important thing is that whatever you're eating, if you have the right mindset about it, like I look forward to my vegetables now. It's not a guilt, it's a joy. Of course, I don't eat all the vegetables.
The joy of vegetables, those funny packets of seeds. I told you they're like 30, 40 years old seeds. They're like, harvest a few leaves at a time for a tasty treat.
That's right. Well, people used to eat leaves back then, I guess. Like,
I like lettuce leaves though, like
oh,
spinach.
okay.
We have like 4 kinds of lettuce.
Yeah,
growing.
I'll tell you, peach tree leaves don't taste very well. Don't ask me how I know. They don't taste very good.
But back to the thing about the tomatoes and the healthy habits, and like I talk to a lot of people who want to maybe get some help, maybe need a health coach, and the first thing they say, "Well, my kids won't eat vegetables." I'm like, "Okay, you cook it and you eat it, and eventually they will, or they'll see you eating it, and they see you feeling better, and you're a more fun mom, and you're a happier mom because you're not all weighed down with heartburn and bad knees and extra pounds. Eventually, they'll jump on board the healthy habits." Xavier is very conscientious about his health. He still eats some stuff that I prefer he didn't, but he also eats a bowl of tomatoes and a lot of protein. So he's old enough to make his own choices like that. And setting an example is the best thing you can do.
Well, he's way more conscious about his health than I ever was at that age.
Things are caught, not taught.
I love my fried chicken.
Me too.
I love everything fried. My dad grew up with a mom that fried everything, so I grew up with everything fried. There's a whole new way to eat. Also, I remember the first time you talked about turnip fries.
Who, me?
Yeah, you got a turnip, right? Making fries.
Party potatoes made out of a turnip.
I'm like, I'm not eating turnip fries. Give me potatoes. But now, I like turnips. They're pretty fun.
Or you make creamy sauce. You put the cauliflower in the blender. You'll never know. You season things right. You put the right protein. We don't eat like hardly any noodles or rice or bread. Which, who doesn't love noodles and rice and bread? I do. But when I started my healthy habits, I thought there's no possible way. What are we going to eat?
Yeah.
I have like an empty plate with a piece of lettuce and some meat.
And what I've started doing, because
it's not like that though, huh?
I'm kind of, well, no, not always. But every now I saw somebody sneak a potato chip or two the other day.
Yes, I will eat the bag of potato chips.
So what I started doing, since I'm kind of mostly hit my goal weight, I can still maybe, I'm around it. I now, if I've done well, kind of my eating during the week, if I've been productive and working, my reward is a little bag of Tostitos tortilla chips and hot sauce.
We bought a case of the individual little bags. That's really helpful.
Yeah,
because if you open the big bag, you're just going to eat them till they're gone.
Yeah, you don't want it to go bad,
You have to eat them all. Else they'll get, so the little individual bags, there's the simplest little thing you can do to make yourself. Don't eat all the bags, just one at a time.
Yeah, and I do it. And I actually haven't had it the last 2 weeks because I ate them early one week, eating some guacamole we bought. The last week, we ate at Cracker Barrel for your mom's birthday, and I ate a lot of carbs, so I'm like, okay.
What did you get? I forget.
Oh, I got the country fried steak.
Oh, right.
Two things of mashed potatoes because they made a mistake.
They messed up the gravy, so we got double mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
One with white, one with brown gravy.
Yeah, the fried okra, battered. And I tell you, I grew up with my dad and everything, so I love fried okra. And what was it, green beans? Yeah, green beans. Country green beans.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I got the broccoli. You got green beans. I got the chicken with bacon and cheese. Delish.
And of course, Angela, we found a thing of seeds of okra. She's like, no way.
I'm not an okra lover. Plus, I remember my mother used to grow those okra, and they would be just not quite ready to pick. The next day, they'd be a foot long and like plasticky.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I don't want to mess with that. But if they're just not quite ready to pick, you might as well pick them. You can put them in a paper bag; they'll probably ripen up.
Yeah. Well, back in Arizona, one year we had a raised bed garden, and the sun really beat down on everything in one spot, so messed up tomatoes before. We planted the okra at one end. They grow up pretty tall and fast. They were great shade for the tomato plants.
Do tomatoes like shade?
Well, in Arizona, it protected them from the direct sun.
See, I know nothing. I have an aunt and a mom I can ask. Like, I don't know about these tomatoes that know things.
But
I'm finding out things.
Yeah, my knowledge of gardening is limited mostly to Arizona, so I'm totally
we're in
new to
zone 6.
all this stuff. And I was in zone like 5, so I guess it's not. Well, we're like at the we're like zone 6B, almost 7, or something like that. Depends on who you ask.
Anyway, since we had that freeze warning in April, I had to bring in all the seedlings. I'm going to put them back outside in our little, I don't know, I'm going to put them back outside in the little greenhouse today. We got some lemongrass I brought in as house plants that really belong outside. See, this one's getting pretty green. So I'm going to take that back outside, my summer plants back outside. I really should plant them in the ground, but I'd be heartbroken if they died in the cold, which is why they're in big pots.
Well, because that's the other thing. Like, you can plant them in the ground and then cut up a part and bring it in. But then the rest dies, and it's like,
well,
I don't know. It's an idea.
Casualties of gardening. What are you going to do? I can't save every plant.
That's right. Can't save them all.
Doing the best I can.
So I guess that kind of comes to, like, we help other people, but, the person has to want to make a change and be ready to, we can't do it all. So I guess that's true with plants. You can't save them all.
I'm going to say currently about half our clients are all about it. They want to lose weight. They want to feel great. They're loving it. And then half are like,
well,
I'll just get back on it later. I just wanted to eat the cake at the birthday
just
party.
like seasons.
Go ahead.
There's a season for everything. There's times we're doing stuff, times we don't.
I'm not telling anyone to deny themselves, but once you get to your healthy weight and you're feeling good and you're drinking your water and you have movement in your day and your healthy habits, you can eat the piece of cake.
Well, that's what I'm
not mad at you.
Like, I didn't eat tortilla chips for how long before
a while?
Like at least 6 months from going from every day eating them.
Yeah, every day. That's not the best idea.
But part of what helped me get through it is I kept thinking about when I get to my goal weight, when I'm there, I'm going to eat tortilla chips and hot sauce once a week.
When I started Healthy Habits, I was very sad I was going to have to break up with Taco Bell because I ate that. Like, that was my go-to. If I was sad, I knew where the nearest Taco Bell was, and there I would go. And you know what? They're sneaky these days. You can order on the app. You don't have to say anything out loud or talk to a human. You can, like, click on, all the things, and you're going to get more because saying out loud to another human, maybe you feel kind of guilty. But anyway, now if I eat Taco Bell, it's not the best experience because they use like grade E meat, not grade A, but like it's got sand in it so it doesn't clump. And I mean, this is commonly known. This is not good stuff.
I mean, there's a reason. There's
no
a lot
offense
of
to Taco Bell.
But there's a reason you guys got a lot of memes out there on the internet, which we won't discuss. You all know what I'm talking about.
But people do use food. What is that? Oh, it's pumpkin.
Yeah.
Our other cat's outside. People do use food to self-soothe and feel better. But are they really feeling better? I feel better now than I did when I would use Taco Bell to feel better.
Yeah.
There's other things. So you break the old habits, bring in new habits. Plus, you had all this inflammation. Like his hands were so puffy, and I didn't recognize it was inflammation because I didn't know. Now that I see your hands, fine. I can see your knuckles. They don't look like, you take those gloves and you can blow it up in the doctor's office and have a big balloon. That's what you had balloon hands. And now you don't. So it's worth it. Hands.
Hey, that'd be a funny little parody video.
So it is worth it to cut out the crap. Cut out the crap when you're decluttering, weed the garden, health coach life. I think this all folds right together very nicely.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Or it has.
Yeah.
Spring
reset.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody that's watching this.
Yeah.
All of you. Nobody live, but the cats are watching it, so that's.
I'm watching. I'm here. I'm getting a lot out of this.
Did we tell them about our cool compost bin?
We got a new compost bin.
Taco Bell would be great for that.
Ew, no, it wouldn't.
Oh no, the shells? No? Okay. So I can put the shells in there.
Stems, the peels, the parts we don't eat when stuff goes bad.
Taco Bell probably doesn't have stems and stuff.
We're not going to talk about that anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So, How many of you go and buy the produce at the store, and then before you eat it, it's like, that would be great in your compost.
Well, that would have been good for me a few years ago. I'd buy stuff. Somebody said, "Oh, it's not there." Then it'd go bad. Then I had to throw it away. I threw somebody's
Your
cookies away.
refrigerator, when I got there to move you to here, was so stuffed full with so much stuff. Because you had what? How many people in and out to help you and feed
Yeah,
you
then
and take
people
care
would
of you?
Move
Yeah, I
stuff
mean,
where it wasn't supposed to be in it. Oh, I don't see it. It's
too
not
many
here.
cooks in the kitchen, and your food would go bad.
Yeah, but not anymore.
Not anymore.
All right. Well, I think it's about time to wrap up. And as we do this more, we're going to be staying. I think we got closer to 2 o'clock this time than last week.
Oh,
We're going to be getting there, though. We're going to advertise it. We're going to even put a thumbnail next week, possibly. I think we're going to it's going to start getting here. Going to be some fancy scenes at some point.
we might say more interesting things. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're hoping to help you with your life, hoping to show you that we're not, we're all in this together.
Yeah, despite people might be surprised to find out I have a disability or difficulties. And that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're here for.
We all have challenges and difficulties.
Even Tigger
Mr.
here has some
Tigger can't
challenges.
stay off the thing.
He's a
Yeah.
good boy. He's a good boy.
That long fur gets a lot of knots and stuff.
We gotta comb your hair. Yeah, spring cleanup of Tigger.
All right.
But we're going to go vote. It's our civic duty. There's some stuff for our county. People hardly ever vote in these things. That's April,
Yeah,
Tuesday in April. But we're going to go do that.
that's right. What are we talking about next week, Angela?
No idea.
Hey, look at the screen. It's hard.
Oh, relationships, life together and laughing a lot.
Ha 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 ha. That's terrible. I'm going to get some sound effects or something to add in. All right. Well, it sounds like it's going to be great, and we hope to see all of you there. All right. Bye. Say bye, Tigger.
Bye, Tigger.
Bye.